has only been a short amount of time since we've seen rings become the new it thing in the wearable space, but I can definitely see the appeal for it. For years now, we've experienced new products and announcements from smartwatch and fitness tracker makers. As jewelry piece, rings have always been considered less obtrusive and minimalist compared to its wrist-placing counterparts. But does wearing a smart ring make sense at this current time? Enter the RingConn Smart Ring. Let's take a closer look. Thank you so much to RingConn for sending us a review unit of the ring to review. All thoughts and opinions are our own. They did not get to preview this video prior to us publishing it. And if you want to see more videos and reviews like this, please be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and check out our website at www.sypnotix.com. There's a multi-step process when it comes to setting up a smart ring, and RingConn makes the experience feel personalized and simple. When you purchase a RingConn ring, you're first sent a sizing kit that includes mock-ups of the ring in multiple sizes and a sample color palette. It's recommended to try wearing your preferred sample size for a bit to ensure you're comfortable with the designated circumference. While my wedding rings are technically a smaller size, I opted to size my ring up due to its bulkier design and the flexibility to swap the ring on different fingers when desired. For women, I also recommend sizing up to account for bloat and that time of month. After submitting your data, RingConn will then ship out the ring that you've configured. All RingConn rings are PVD coated, regardless of the color variant that you choose. They're also made from titanium and have a non-allergenic and non-metallic inner molding. They're also IP68 dustproof and waterproof. My version is the pale gold in a size 9. Included with the ring is a charging case, charging cable, manual, and a creative poem. The ring has a matte finish to it that is quite muted in appearance, with the exception of the top and bottom edges that have a glossier effect to its design. You will notice and feel the protruding sensors inside of the ring, which is protected by a clear covering. Sensors include those for heart rate, blood oxygen, skin temperature, and also a 3D accelerometer. Despite the protruding sensors, I found the ring to be quite comfortable on my finger, albeit a little bulky in appearance. An issue with these rings, especially because they're first-gen technology, is how bulky they look and feel to accommodate all the chips and sensors inside. Sadly, the RingConn is no exception to this as it succumbs to its fate. The ring itself isn't necessarily uncomfortable to wear, but I'm just not accustomed to wearing these thicker, chunkier bands that are like this. I have no doubt that RingConn will continue to improve on its design, and OEMs will continue to shrink the chips and sensors with evolving technology. While I still do notice the size of the ring at times, after wearing it for over a month now, it's definitely become more comfortable and a little bit less intrusive to wear. That is, until I'm reminded and someone notices how chunky it looks on my finger. The ring connects to both Android and iOS and supports synchronizing with Google Fit and Apple Health. Setting up the ring is very easy, and I use the RingConn app virtually every day to check my stats. There's actually quite a bit for me to say about the app. First, it's absolutely free to use and there's no subscription that comes with it. Secondly, in the past month or so that I've been using the ring, I've noticed that RingConn has continued to optimize the app and that is very, very stable on iOS. There's a new exercise beta mode which was not here before so that you can log your workouts. There's also upcoming features for sleep apnea, sleep coaching, and new languages being added all the time. This in itself really excites me to know that RingConn is continuing to innovate its app and improve its user experience. They're also working on accessories like the ring protector and charging dock. These are all really good signs for a growing product. I'm also really impressed with how accurate features of tracking have been in my experience, particularly sleep tracking. I'm not typically able to track my sleep because I don't like to wear a watch or fitness tracker on my wrists while I'm in bed. The reason that RingConn appealed to me so much was because of its form factor, and despite the initial couple days that it still took for me to adjust and feel like there was something on me as I was sleeping, it's noticeably less intrusive for me to wear a ring instead of a band or a watch as I'm sleeping. I also found that the other sensors like heart rate, SpO2, and HRV reflect similarly to my other tracking methods throughout the day. The ring can also track things like stress level, and it will show you a daily score of how it progresses throughout the day. For the most part, I agreed with the stress score, and I would see spikes in my heart rate that would correspond to higher stress while I was traveling or presenting in meetings. While the information is neat, I didn't particularly see a whole lot of fluctuation with my stress, and I normally ended up not looking at it as much as I thought I would. You can also set goals for various tracking points that RingConn will measure for you and let you know if you've hit it. It's the best of a smartwatch, but without the intrusive screen. There's also some ways that I can see RingConn improving the app in the future. I do recommend opening up the RingConn app at least once a day so that the Ring can sync successfully to the app. The data will not sync in the background, and it does take a minute or so for the Ring to sync daily. Note that users are able to export their data to CSV if they so choose, but I am hoping RingConn offers more substantial feedback and tips to users in the future. When you're in the summary view of that designated day that you're viewing, there's a beta wellness balance view that appears. The insights and suggestions in this view, along with the other subcategory views, feel generic and don't offer enough personalization to be useful to the user. Based on other fitness tracking experiences, it's not too far-fetched to envision a more in-depth level of user experience in this manner. RingConn advertises up to 7 days of battery life, and I actually got pretty close to that with a maximum of 6 days on one charge. It takes 90 minutes to get a full charge from zero, but my preferred method is actually to top the Ring off by placing it into the charging case for 15 minutes while I'm showering so that the Ring is fully charged every day. When the Ring is placed in the charging case, a white light will indicate that it's charging. The charging case is portable and has a 500 mAh battery that charges via USB-C and can support 15 to 18 charges. Within the RingConn app itself, you can also check the battery status and its estimated remaining battery life. Battery life has been fantastic for me on my Ring, and charging it with the portable charger makes it even easier. Its life is similar to that of a fitness brand. Despite the overall great design and functions of the Ring, there's still a few downsides that I experience, which lead me to conclude that a smart Ring may not be the most ideal choice for some people at this time. I mentioned earlier that sleep tracking was accurate for me, but there's something else to be said about activity tracking. Since I like to check my sleep stats after waking up, I'll open the RingConn app while I'm in bed and notice that the app will report that I already walked over 100 steps when I haven't even gotten out of bed yet. It may be a result of how I sleep or move around or flail around, but activity tracking on my Ring is less accurate and noticeably less accurate than my experience with smartwatches and fitness bands. While watches do pick up extra steps as well, I found that the Ring was even more sensitive and picking up excess. On that note, this Ring may not be the top choice for someone who wants to track their fitness activity on a more granular level. In their user manual, RingConn recommends removing the Ring to avoid wear and tear when performing strength training or using heavy tools. I am unable to wear this Ring while lifting weights at the gym due to its protrusion on my finger. This means that realistically, I can't rely on my Ring to track my fitness stats during a workout. In fact, the only exercise that you can actually track right now in RingConn's beta mode is outdoor running. I do see this improving in the future as the form factor and sensitivity of the sensors improve, but it's just not quite there yet, and we have much more refined trackers and form factors like smartwatches and fitness bands. For me personally, I've done enough workouts to have a pretty good idea on average of how much activity is reflected in my workouts. But for those who want to track their stats after, the truth is that we are just still a little bit away from having accurate and efficient tracking on a Ring. And finally, if you're someone who is sensitive to how light appears at night, it is noticeable how bright the sensor lights can glow in a dark room. Overall, I found the RingConn Smart Ring to be an intentionally created product that covers most of what I would want in a smart ring. Sure, there's room for improvement, but we have to view this as first-gen-ish technology that the brand will continue to improve on. Despite some pitfalls like inaccurate activity tracking and being unable to track my weighted workouts, I learned a lot about myself through my sleep and through the habits that I started seeing myself form thanks to the Ring. Let me know what you think of the RingConn Smart Ring in the comments below. I'm Lida from the Sypnotix, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!